Hi, welcome to Sparkling Memories, a place where you can build healthy relationship with food, parents, and yourself. Happy Juneteenth. Of course, we are in June 19 of 2024. Of course, we got to celebrate the ending of Civil War, the ending of slavery as we know it. For over 400 years, slavery. And it started from European merchants and it lasted for centuries. That is just outstanding. For someone to just take ownership and make people into property, to enslave them, to have them as being held and being owned by other people, other human beings, is just really out there. The fact that you could celebrate this day of freedom, motivation, and migration to come from a place where people simple as President Abraham Lincoln did the Emancipation and Proclamation in 1863 to now living where we can do social media, there's jobs, there's places you can live, there's heck, we even had a black president of the United States. When now we can vote, and there's so much more than African Americans can do that was not even allowed to do just based off being black, having that as your complexion, to be separated from the do's and the don'ts and the wants and the needs, and to be people who are separated from their families, people who rode on ships from where they originally were from, taken somewhere else to pick cotton and to cook and clean and take care of these Caucasian people. And the lighter your brown is, the more likely you're allowed to live in the house with these slave owners. Some of the founding fathers of the United States, like George Washington, had slaves. And I'm just really astounded that that even took place. I mean, I thought it was something simple. It was just to see this day is just really amazing, to be honest. Because me myself, I really can't even see myself being a slave. Like after like an hour, and I realized that these people are going to take over, or even less than that, 10 minutes alone, I think they would have just off me because of my mouth alone. The idea of someone telling me what to do and you not like paying me and you're not like joking and you really want me to work for you and live in some dusty place you have in the back of your big house and take care of your children and not go to school, not have no education, not have no form of self, and you can't even interact with who you want to unless you're in the work field, or you just happen to be a lighter brown, so you're in the kitchen and then you're around all these people who telling you what to do, how to live, and when you can speak and can't speak. I mean, it's so graphic to the point the amount of people blood that was shed is like so horrifying. It's not something that can be classified as it happened and then move on. I understand it's your ancestors, but this movement of being emancipated from that is a big deal. To know that you don't have to follow orders from people who think that you're property and think that they own you. I mean, there was slave trade where they line you up and had you in chains and they poking you and touching you and you have chain wrung your neck trying to figure out if you were strong enough to deal with their crops or to just deal with the landscaping of their home. I mean, it is just so crazy how one race think they could have control and next by telling them that you have to do such and such, and if you don't, you get killed, and you separated from your beliefs, and even the ones that grew up in it. Thank God slavery is gone because there's no excuse and there's no way we could have done something different. It happened, and now we have to deal with the aftermath of dealing with racism as a whole right now. And to see a lot of us have not quite grasped how difficult our ancestors might have had it, and even know someone who has been through a horrific experience. It doesn't even touch if somebody was to tell you all their stories, or if you read it in books. If you ever take the gratitude of not being your own, and to have someone tell you and be this way or you die. I mean, it is just unbelievable. Now, happy Juneteenth. Okay, is the National Independence Day, a federal holiday in the United States. Is the ending of the Civil War, the ending of slavery, the emancipation of Black African Americans, and the fact that it lasted so long, over 400 years, is outstanding because that's really unheard of, which included more than 50 million men, women, and children that were enslaved. The last state known to get rid of slavery was Texas. The first president that actually wanted to get rid of slavery, in the books that tell us Emancipation Proclamation, January 1st, 1863, was President Abraham Lincoln. And he was the one that was said, let the slaves go free and let them do what they want. Now, some of our founding fathers owned numerous amounts of slaves, from George Washington, Thomas Jefferson, James Madison. To know that courageous women like Harriet Tubman, she was the first one we know to date that escaped prison in 1849. This whole 40 acres and move, only a portion of the Black African American folks received this. They claim over 40,000 of the Black folks received it out of the 4 million who they freed, received the 40 acres and a mule. And then they had people like Robert Carter III, which started to emancipate the slaves, over 500 slaves that were African American from 1758 to 1776. They had Moses Brown, who was among the first people in America to free the slaves. Juneteenth is a big deal. Is a day to rejoice that we're not enslaved, whether you're black or a different race. The founding parts of America was built on a foundation of a lot of different things that took place, and slavery made up a lot of the historic buildings and sites that we see. We have always heard of the Underground Railroad. We have seen big buildings like the Monument and Washington, D.C., the White House. We have seen so many things that was created, and a lot of the people who created stuff, they wasn't given credit. So the slave owners took credit for a lot of our inventions that was actually made and actually executed by our African American people, and never given the credit for it. Like something simple as a regular KFC. KFC was founded by a black woman, not the colonel you see that has the funny mustache and the weird curl up hair. It was a black woman who had that recipe that was stolen. And then they created KFC with this man that says, oh, my chicken is so great, you gotta try it. Popeyes, some other black people stuff. I mean, they created so many different things and we don't know about until we find in the books who actually created what and who actually got a credit. 'Cause a lot of things black people have made and have gotten zero credit. But to see this day where we are emancipated is courageous. Now, if you're not black or African American and you Caucasian or some other race, if you want to be supporters of this day, you can. You go and you volunteer to some black establishment, or you become someone that's a resource for someone that's in a community of color, and you help and you donate. You can do this today, And it doesn't have to be just today because it's a federal holiday. You could do it at any particular time. June 13th. It marks another day, but today we're going to celebrate June 19th, Juneteenth. So next time, it's been Sipped Around from Sparkling Memories. Bye-bye.